Hi everyone, welcome to our new episode of Love All. Really excited again. Like I feel very lucky that we get to have some really great women on the show. And today is no other. Hailey Baptiste is joining us. She is in Rome. Had an amazing 2 weeks in Madrid where she beat Sabalenka, made it to the semifinals of the Madrid Open, and so we get to kind of pick her brain a little bit and talk about where she felt like she started to feel more comfortable out there and confident enough where she's able to beat players like Sabalenka. So really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I am so excited. Kim, how are you doing in life? How's life treating you?
Life is good. Life is good. We finally have some sunshine in New Jersey, and so we feel like we all handled the Disney trip well, and everybody's back into their normal routine of school and basketball and getting everything done. So life is back to normal. And I actually planned on I'm going to the French Open for a few days. So I'm going to spend the week of qualifying. Actually, I'm going to go out there and watch some tennis.
Boots on the ground. I cannot wait to see the Kim Clijsters inside scoop behind the scenes. Watch out. You're going to see the influencer in the wild, Kim Clijsters of Love All.
Don't get people's hopes up, Blair.
She's going to be out there taking selfie videos, showing our Love All fans what it's like to be behind the scenes at Roland Garros, which for those who haven't maybe seen, the fact that really the whole player area or most of it is underneath the grounds, it's actually one of the most unusual and unique. And obviously there are many tournaments. The Australian Open also has sort of that underground tunnel system. But at Roland Garros, it legit feels like there are two worlds. There's the ground level, and then there is what's happening underneath. I feel like it's like a little ant city.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I haven't been back. I don't always see, like, when you miss a year or two, like I feel like they just keep improving the ground so much now. And the French Open, I know a few years ago they put a bid in on a property that was like near Euro Disney, right? Like on one of the grounds there, and they ended up not doing it or not getting it, and then just really putting in a lot of money into the renovations of the grounds there, and it's almost like the only place you can go is underground, right? Because I feel like everything is so compact and unlike let's say the US Open where you have so much space in between the courts and you can walk around, where you don't have that there, but it's still a really great vibe, and I'm so excited to go back. And someone posted, like, I saw something on social media where it was like my Capriati final in 2001. I was like, wait, that was 25 years ago.
25 years, Kim.
I was like, oh my God, wait, where did time go? Like, how is this all going so fast? But yeah, that's life, I guess, right?
Yeah, we need to do a deep dive on that match for sure. So lots to talk about once Roland Garros starts. But first, we've got action in Rome. And as promised, an interview with 24-year-old Hailey Baptiste, who's sitting at her career high ranking of 25 in the world. We had so much fun talking to her. After that, we'd love to have you stick around, though, because we have headlines for you. The word boycott is being thrown around in Rome press rooms. And of course, we have Rec Room for you as well. Take a listen.
Hailey, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to get the chance to talk to you. You've had an amazing, I feel like, few months, right, where you've been playing great, and we see your confidence just go up and up on court. And but the semifinals in Madrid and the whole event there, like, tell me a little bit, like, what you took away from that from those 2 weeks there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great tournament for me. Probably the best tournament I've ever had. It was definitely a special one. I was there with my two basically brothers, Franklin Tiafoe and William Woodall, two guys that I've grown up with and known since I was like 5 years old. So incredible to share that moment with them. But yeah, I mean, obviously leaving there with a lot of confidence, and I'm happy to be back on the red clay. The red clay is my favorite surface. So yeah, to be able to get those results, it just feels really good. And obviously I had some good results in Miami, and so I'm sure people were questioning whether I would be able to back that up, and to prove some people wrong, felt good.
Are you sure you're an American? That red clay is your favorite surface? I don't know that I've ever heard that come out of an American mouth in my life.
It is kind of shocking, but JTCC the club I grew up at, we have 2 red clay courts, and I spent quite a bit of time there. And I don't know, I've always loved the red clay. I love sliding around, and I don't know, it's just fun to me.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband during the Madrid tournament, and he plays basketball, and I was like telling him about, like, I told Blair about that yesterday when we were kind of preparing a little bit for today, and I was like, Hailey looks so calm and in control when she's out there. Like, she doesn't feel rushed. Like, she doesn't feel like she loses balance on the surface. And he's like, yeah, she's like Doncic. Like, look at Doncic. Like that's what she's like. She has control. She doesn't feel rushed. She's in charge. Like, that's what she reminds me of. I'm like, yeah, that's a good comparison.
I like that comparison.
Right. Like, and I said, yeah, that's probably like what that feeling is, right? To you have the strength and the power, but you also have the finesse to slide around and to come in, and that combination, like, I think is really, really cool to see. And more and more players are going to really be like, look at the draw and be like, is she in my section? Damn it. Like, like,
yeah, I mean, that's the goal for sure.
So, are you going to be seated at the French or not yet?
Yeah, I will be.
Yay.
Yeah.
First time, right?
It'll be my first slam that I'm seated. So yeah, exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting. It's a big get the draw printed out and highlight it for the first time and frame it. It's a good memorabilia right there.
So I'm super excited. French has honestly always been like the slam that I've wanted to win. Like, growing up, Rafa was my favorite player, and he won it every single year. So it was always like my favorite slam, and obviously it's on red clay. So I'm super excited to get over there.
So Hailey, when you go there, like, I'm going to give you a little bit of like my personal kind of experience is go and try to play on Philippe Chatrier, on Susan Lenglen. Like, don't hit just on those tennis courts, because it's such a big court. There's so much space, and I remember just always feeling a little bit like out of place when I played on center court. So try to just as much as you can, like, go out and practice there.
Yeah, last year I got to round of 16, and I played on Susan Lenglen, and it was just completely different feel, and I definitely felt that, just like lost, and it's just disappointing, because you're like, damn, like, if I just felt a little bit more comfortable, like, maybe things could have been better. But yeah, no, I definitely am going to prioritize like trying to practice on those courts, because I'm expecting myself to be playing on them. So
yeah. It's right. Like, it's also visually, right? Like, it looks like Susan Lenglen like looks and feels different than Philippe Chatrier, and then you have the smaller corner, like the smaller courts. They're just it's just so different. So I just
it's all different
like,
feel. Yeah,
they feel completely different, and you can kind of catch yourself a little bit. Like, you can get caught off guard, like when you walk out there and like, oh, like, why 100%. Is my timing off now, or like, why am I like a little bit like off balance more? So really try to get as many as you can.
100%.
Are you playing anything the week before the French, or are you going to practice out there?
I think so. I'm playing obviously here in Rome, and then I think I'll probably just practice that first week before, get used to everything and get my bearings in Paris. Get ready.
I haven't told you yet, Blair, but I'm going to be at the French for the qualifying week. I'm going to fly out there for a few days.
I'm so jealous.
I'm excited. So I'll see you there,
nice.
Hailey.
I'll see you there for sure.
Do you like Euro life? Are you, because we've heard some of our friends talking about their European pet peeves. Do you like the European life?
I don't know if I could be European, but I do enjoy my time here. The 8-9 weeks is really nice. I love it, and then I'm dying to go home. But I do really enjoy it. I like the fact that the food is super clean here. And the lifestyle is much different. It's a lot more relaxed, I feel, than in the US. Everybody's so busy. So no, I definitely enjoy it, my time here.
You have talked about the biggest change in your game. Obviously, we've seen consistency and there's been great decision making, but you sort of credit that to what's happening in between the ears. And I was wondering if you could specify for us, are you thinking about something specific in those tight moments? Are you trying to not think about something? Are you redirecting the mental energy? Can you hone in on what the change actually is?
I mean, I would say like the biggest thing is yeah, obviously my mind. I feel like my mind is a lot stronger, and that was like kind of a choice that I made. Obviously came with practice, but I just decided that I was not going to allow myself to be a reason for losing matches anymore. Just stop battling myself really, and almost like enjoy when I get into those moments of frustration and with my back against the wall, just believing that I can get out of that situation, like no matter what it is, down match points, up match points, and just like having that belief in myself and the confidence to get out of those position situations. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously shown in my results. And I just have like so much confidence in my mind now.
When I watch you now, Hailey, like I feel like there's a maturity that's been added on to your tennis game. Do you think that did that come because of like what was happening in between the years, or is it because you started working different on court or with the coach? Like where it's like the chicken and the egg, right? Like where is it were you doing different work in practice that made you more confident or that built your belief? Or is it just, a tennis player's kind of time of having more experience and playing bigger opponents and on bigger stages that helps you get through that as well? Like, where do you feel like what came first? Like, is it the confidence or is it kind of in between the ears, a different mindset that grows the confidence?
I would say that, yeah, I got to some positions where I was playing bigger players and bigger courts and bigger tournaments, and I was just not where I needed to be. And like, it was just very clear the things that I needed to change and be better at. And so, yeah, then I started working much harder off the court. Not even on the tennis court, in the gym. I started working harder and just challenging my mind in that way. And then in matches, I felt more confident physically. So that was out of the picture. And then I really could just focus fully on my mental and, winning the match. And yeah, it took me a while to kind of figure things out, I think. But I feel like right now I'm in a really good place, and I've learned a lot about myself in the past year. And I know what things are going to make me feel confident within my head when I'm at a tournament and leading up to a tournament, so that I can go in and feel my best. And I think that's what's most important, just knowing yourself and knowing how to set yourself up for success.
If anyone watched your match against Aryna Sabalenka, which you won, took out the world number one, the defending Madrid champion, and saw you save 6 match points, they would have not only witnessed an incredible tennis match, but they would have seen you save 2 of those 6 match points with a second serve and volley, which it's not something we see every day. We barely see first serves and volleys. And I was reading an interview that your coach, Will Woodall, did, where he said he really wants to let you be creative. Is that an example of your creativity? What goes into the thought process in deciding to do that in one of the most high pressure moments of your career?
Sometimes you don't think, and you just go off what feels right.
You're just a badass. That's what it is.
If that's what you want to call it.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes I just don't think, and I do like play off my instincts, and my instincts can be a little crazy sometimes. And I actually have a tendency to hit a serve and volley off my second serve. So people that have, watched me play some matches and watched me grow up have seen that. And some of my friends are like, oh, they knew that I was going to do that. But obviously it's just such an uncommon thing to do. So everybody's like, what the hell is she thinking doing that? But for me, I was like, okay, I have to go. This is the play that I have to do. So yeah, I don't know. I think that, yeah, sometimes when you don't think, magic can happen.
That's right. But the impact that has, like, even, on somebody like Sabalenka too, right? Like it's such but like literally a badass move, like to be able to do that. Like so many players fall back into like, I don't want to miss. I don't want to make the mistake. Please miss the return, right? There's so many players who think that way. But like, yeah, it's great that you're, have that kind of, mindset where you want to do that and go for it. And it's
yeah.
And it paid off, and it will only grow, that instinct, and that, which is great.
Are you a creative person? Are you creative in real life? Are you, is that how you would describe yourself?
Draw me a crocodile, please. Let me see.
So, I mean, I think I'm pretty creative. I used to paint a lot when I was younger. I kind of fell out of that hobby, but yeah, I mean, I'm really into music, and I attempted to make my own music, but it didn't go very far.
Wait, there's still time, Hailey. There's still time.
You're still a baby.
Listen, get it on Spotify. There are many tennis players who have gone before you. We can set you up.
I don't know if I want to join them.
Oh my gosh, you might be the next Lorenzo Sonego. Who knows?
I guess.
What do you listen to before, like, your games?
Honestly, it's honestly different every week. Last week I was listening to a lot of R&B before and sometimes I often listen to like calm music before I go on, just because my head is like usually racing a lot, and so the music like just kind of brings my tone down, and sometimes I need to be hyped up, so I'll listen to like crunk rap, or I don't know. It's literally changes every week, so I can't tell you like I have a go to on-court walk-on playlist or anything.
Playlist or anything.
No, not at all.
I wanted to ask Hailey, just going back to when you were a kid and you talked about, Franklin and Will being like your brothers and having them sitting in your box, but the odds were really stacked against you in just about every way, because it's been so well documented how expensive tennis is. And we've seen the Washington Post did a story about the GoFundMe that your mom made. It's been almost 10 years ago now, where she almost described tennis as your destiny. And I'm curious if you felt like that was true, but you had to really scrape to make things work. So before we talk about your destiny, what are some of the sacrifices that your family had to make to make sure that you could end up where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, they had to, basically spend whatever money that they made in extra pocket money on me and traveling and getting me to tournaments. There's sometimes when I started eventually traveling out of the country, they couldn't afford to go with me, so I was going there alone. Luckily, I had the help of USTA for some of them to be able to travel with the team. But yeah, I mean, we're in a super wealthy family, and tennis is extremely expensive. And with equipment, travel, coaching, and just everything, it's a tough thing to keep up with for our family, at least. So yeah, I mean, they sacrificed a ton, and they have been supporting me since I started playing, and until today they're my biggest supporters, and so I have to credit a lot to them.
But I was lucky enough to meet the whole family in West Virginia when we played World Team Tennis.
Quite some time there.
Yes. We were stuck. How long was it? Like 3 weeks, 4
3
weeks?
weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I was losing my mind by the end.
Quarantine. It was the Greenbrier, beautiful resort hotel, and but we were lucky that we were able to play. And but what was it? We got like tested every couple of days or 3 days or something.
Yeah,
we got tested.
I got the swabs.
Yep. Back in the day when they were going really hot, like pretty high up too.
I just know that Hailey has some pretty vivid memories of you, both you and Venus Williams, from the Greenbrier. Can you, from your perspective, tell us what that was like because how old were you at the time? Like a teenager?
Yeah, I think I was 18 or 18. Yeah.
When was it? 2021
I think
20?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, maybe the end of 2020. Yeah, something like that.
So you had Kim and Venus like at your disposal, giving you life advice.
Yeah,
set the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think towards the end, everybody was kind of losing their minds, and we were all at the end of the night. Everybody had dinner and stuff, and somehow I got sat in between Kim and Venus, and they were kind of just going back and forth, like giving me advice and telling me things, and I was like, like it just felt like a dream.
Twilight Zone.
It did not feel real, and I was like, wow. And then the next morning, I woke up and I was like, was that really happening? Like it really felt insane. But yeah, it was amazing.
I think, look, probably maybe like a cool experience for you, but it was also not an easy experience to be a part of because, like a player from whatever team like was like, oh, like I got hurt or something. And then like Hailey would be like still in a room, like, where's Hailey? Like she was like the reserve.
I was literally like, I was sleeping one time, taking a nap, and I got a call from Matt, and he's like, where are you at? And I was like, I'm like napping, and he's like, all right, yeah, you gotta play a match in like 20 minutes. And I was like scrambling around, like trying to get my match clothes on. And yeah, I mean, it was crazy, but it was a very cool experience still. And we were very lucky to be able to do that at the time where there was a little to no tennis going on. So
that's where I got to meet your mom and dad and kind of get a feel for, the impact that tennis has, but also the connections and how close you guys are. So that was really, really nice to see. So are they there with you this week?
My dad's here with me. My mom I think is gonna join me in Paris. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Hailey, did you get more texts about beating the world number one or that insane racket break over your knee that was documented by a Getty photographer, and like it's already on t-shirts? Like I want to buy one.
I know. The racket break was pretty insane. In the moment, it didn't feel great, but once I saw the photo and the circulation online, I was like, okay, not bad. Maybe it was an investment.
It looked really good with like your black outfit and then like the clay in the background. Like it was just it's definitely like a piece of art when you frame it.
Like my entire family, like they're planning on getting it all framed in each of their houses. So
we want one. It might be back here. Said that we said that a couple when it happened.
Yeah, Madison came up to me the other day and she was like, I'm thinking about getting it framed and putting it in my house.
Yeah, I want that. That's, back in the day, they had the famous tennis picture of the girl where she puts the ball under her skirt. Remember that?
Oh, yes, Blair? I remember that picture.
And so this is going to be the next one. Like, this is women's tennis now. Like, none of that other stuff. That. Like, this is the power that we bring. So, when I see you in Paris, I'm going to get one, and I'm going to ask you to sign it. There you go.
Oh, 100%.
All right.
I can do that for you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Hailey. Hailey, explain a little bit about Francis's impact on you, like with his experience of the last few years, like of being, where he's gotten to with his level, the good and the bad experiences, right? Like how has he been able to impact you now that you've gotten to, top 32 and top 50 like before? Like what impact has he been able to bring to your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to, watch him since he was in the juniors and playing 14s and then ITFs and then starting on the ITF circuit, challengers and everything, and like pretty much, follow behind him every step of the way. And you see all the challenges he's faced, with transitioning from each of those levels and, changing coaches, having struggles of being on tour. And, I've been just so lucky to have him and be able to lean on him when I've gone through whatever problems I've come across and whatever boundaries have, gotten in my way. He's been like right by my side to help me with anything and, give me advice, even through good things. After beating world number one last week, he's bring me back down to earth a couple of days later and be like, okay, you have more work to do. And like the next tournament starting next week. And so, I mean, he's definitely been a mentor and somebody that I've looked up to for almost my entire life. But also like my brother and one of my best friends. So our relationship is very, very special.
That's really nice to have on tour. It's rare, right?
Yeah, rare
to have
rare.
That. Yeah, very.
I have a style question for you. So you wear a lot of the Jumpman stuff. I know there was and I don't know exactly how that works. Obviously, Nike is your sponsor. Jumpman is sort of like a brand within Nike. But I mean, are there crossover hopes, dreams. I feel like anytime tennis can sort of make its way into the consciousness of another sport, it's a huge opportunity, and vice versa. Have you thought about like what's the dream collab?
I'm definitely trying to, work my way into the right person's ear and make something happen with that. I think I would fit the Jordan brand pretty well, and I'm sure they would love to get involved in tennis somehow. I know it would be exciting for fans and people. So I mean, you never know. But yeah, I would definitely love to do that.
Well, we love it. I think Jada even mentions it's like, Mom, she's so cool. Like she was here, and she's like, Mom, she's so cool. She doesn't look like the normal tennis player, like where you have the skirt and like she's like, I love that she's like that, and she's plays basketball, so that's probably like where she relates, and yeah. So that was fun to kind of see it through her eyes a little bit as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. In due time, maybe I'll be supporting and wearing the Jumpman brand. I love that. So
if they're smart, somebody should be getting on that.
Yeah, sooner than later.
Okay, obviously it's so important for you to have your people around you. With Franklin and Will, your coach, who again, Kim and I were talking about this yesterday. You're to the point in your career where you could have maybe gotten a coach that has coached other top players, and Will is relatively new to this space. He's, I think, only 26, right?
Yeah.
And so in addition to that, you also have your dog on the road with you, which I will always ask about, sweet Oscar, who is adorable. How is Oscar doing with his hotel potty training? How is that going? It's
a work in progress for sure.
So what does that mean? Like he pees on the rug in the hotel room?
Well, not the rug, but he has a bad habit of peeing on the shower towel mat. So at least they can wash those pretty easily. But I put the pee pads in the room and I walk him a ton. But I don't know what it is with him and the towel by the shower. It's just, I don't know. He's created a bad habit. It feels
good on my feet to get on a bathroom towel rug. Like, it's nice. So
I get, something comforting about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
he's like, hey, I recognize this. This is the only thing that I recognize in these different countries. That's the only thing towel rug.
Yeah, so I mean, other than that, he's doing great. He loves the attention that he gets being on site. Everybody is obsessed with him, and he's got a few doggy friends on tour as well with him. So I think he likes the tour life, and he has no idea what's going on outside of anything else. So
how is he on the plane?
On the plane, he's great. He goes in his little travel bag and he just falls asleep. I mean, he goes in his bag even when we're at home in the room. He just will jump in, and it's a comfort place for him. So yeah.
Kim, should we finish with some rapid fire?
Yes, sure.
All right. Hailey, what's your favorite app on your phone, or most used app on your phone?
Probably Instagram.
Do you have a favorite follow?
A favorite follow? Ooh, that's a good question.
Jumpman.
Not yet. I'm waiting on that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Favorite follow. I'm trying to think of because I got some pretty cool ones last week. I'm trying to think of who they were.
I love that you're looking at it as I was thinking the favorite person you follow, but now tell us all the favorite. No. Now you got to tell us who's following you. Who's following you now?
Okay, Anthony Anderson was one comedian who followed me and messaged me. That was really cool.
Aw, that's cool.
Yeah. Then Wanda Sykes, another comedian.
No way.
Yeah.
Wanda's at the U.S. Open every year.
Is she married to a French lady? Like she speaks like.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Lisa Leslie. That was a really cool one.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've gotten some pretty good ones. Those are the most recent ones that I could find. But favorite person that I'm following, I'm usually on what I'm spending the most time on is like reels, and it's mostly just dog videos, and I'm just like sending those back and forth to all my friends.
Got it. Dog videos. Good to know. All right, go ahead, Kim.
If you could take a shot from another player, like that you said, like, oh, I would like to add that to my. There's not many. I think that because you probably have the big the big arsenal that a lot of players don't have. But if you could pick something from another player, male or female, doesn't matter. Like, what would you pick?
I would probably take like Amanda Anisimova's backhand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flat.
I can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal? Probably like grilled meats. Some kind of like steak, chicken, anything grilled. And like a good pasta.
So you're in the right place now in Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite sweet treat?
Favorite sweet treat? Oh, like an apple crumble, apple pie, something like that with ice cream. With ice cream, always.
That's key.
Every
you gotta
time.
have the ice cream.
Yeah.
What makes you laugh the most?
My friends. Honestly, annoyingly, my dad makes me laugh a ton. But
in what scenario? Like when he does when he does it on tries to make you laugh, or he's just like funny,
honestly,
awkward in some situations.
He's just like the funny, like he's very naturally funny, and he also tries to make me laugh and succeeds even when I don't want him to. But yeah, if you see me with my team, we're usually always dying laughing, which is something that I love. So,
what do you like to do most in your downtime?
I have been fishing a lot. I've really enjoyed that. And shopping.
Yes.
I spend a lot of time shopping.
Online, or you like to go now?
No,
you like
I like to go out. Yeah, I go out and I try to go to literally every store possible.
And like clothes or bags or jewelry, like
everything. Yeah. Clothes, jewelry, shoes, bags, like just whatever I can find.
Do you want to admit to what you told me in Houston last fall when you had to buy how many extra suitcases to get home from Europe last year?
Oh yeah, so I've already got one extra suitcase so far, and I'm sure I'm gonna do more shopping here and in Paris. So they're gonna add. I buy 4 right now.
Okay, I love it. 3 things you can't live without:
music, Oscar, my dog, and my family.
Oh, nice.
I probably should have added tennis in there, right?
I mean, I actually think it's kind of good that tennis is not in there, to be completely honest.
Yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to live without it. So,
all right, if you picture yourself, a few months ahead in the off season, and you can pick a vacation spot, like where do you want to go?
Jamaica, and I was supposed to go to Jamaica last year, but they had the awful hurricane. And so I'm hoping that this year will be okay to go there. But yes, that's I've been wanting to go there for a few years now.
Okay, last one for you, Hailey. What's your favorite tennis memory?
I would say beating Madison Keys in DC, just because it was the first time I had like a really big win. It was actually my first WTA match, and it was at home in DC. So yeah, I mean, any successful week there, or any kind of success I have at home just feels much different than anything else. And obviously last week was a close second, I'd say.
This was so fun. Yeah. I know, we're excited to cheer you on. And do you set a goal for the rest of the year now, or have you had to reset goals based on the first part of the year?
Well, my short-term goal was kind of to be like top 20 by the end of the summer, and top 10 by the end of the year. So
okay, you're 25 as of today. So
still reaching. So
still reaching. Love it.
One day at a time. Keep pushing.
Exactly.
Right? Do you know when you're playing?
I'm thinking I'm gonna play on Friday.
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
You have a few more days.
A few more days. Yeah.
Who did the draw? The draw came out. I saw. Who do you play?
Yeah, it's a qualifier, or Stardew Seva.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, enjoy the Roman.
Yeah. Yes, I
will. The Roman air, the statues on the center court and on the ground.
Yeah. No, that court's one of my favorite courts.
It's unbelievable.
With the statues all around. I remember I played Svitolina last year there, and it was like I lost the match, but it was probably top 3 of one of my favorite matches. So hopefully gonna play on that court again this year.
Yeah, I feel very lucky when we get to play tennis in some of these amazing areas and venues and so
Yeah, it's
Rome was definitely
unbelievable.
on top of the list there with the
Yeah.
the old Olympic Stadium.
Yeah,
Try to go
100%.
to a soccer game if you can. Get a
Yeah, I
feel
will.
for that.
I think there was one yesterday, and
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even know, but I will definitely try to go before. I went to last week to a Real Madrid game, which was sick. Yeah, and that was awesome. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to go one here.
Yeah.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Well, good luck, Hailey.
Thank you
Good
so
luck
much.
and
Thanks for
enjoy
having me,
dinner
guys.
with the Americans. Tell
Yes, I will.
Francis we said hello.
Yes.
I will.
Give him a big hug from me. Okay.
I will.
All right.
All right.
Bye, Hailey.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
Hailey.
See
See
ya.
ya.
That was so much fun. She is such a breath of fresh air.
She is, and she may want to come back to America after 8 weeks of being in Europe. But I feel like that European lifestyle really like suits her, and she looks so relaxed and calm. And probably, she's coming from a great week in Madrid, and then now is exciting to play in Rome. So life is good. And I remember those days, like the early years where you get to travel to tournaments, and maybe it's like the second year that you get to go back, and everything is a little bit more familiar, and you feel more comfortable. And so really exciting to see her kind of in that good kind of flow. And so, yeah, she'll be very fun to watch. Maybe was not on a lot of people's radar to be a contender for the French Open. But I think after some of the tennis that she's shown, and that she was able to beat Sabalenka in Madrid, and she definitely is somebody that a lot of the top players are going to be very worried about, and when they see her in their side of the draw. So very exciting to see her kind of follow, see what she'll do next after her good result in Madrid.
I know, pretty cool. All right. Well, we are going to transition into Henley's headlines. And normally we would start this off by doing a little recap of the on-court action from last week in Madrid. We're actually going to save that for Kimformation this week because we have some real news to report. I feel like we need the little news ticker at the bottom because prize money is in the headlines once again, Kim. And for those who sort of don't know the background here, last spring, a group of top players from the ATP and WTA tours, some are calling this group Project Red Eye, mostly players from the top 10 on both sides. They petitioned the Grand Slams to seek a larger percentage of overall revenue to go toward prize money. And their goal is to get 22% of projected revenues at the Slams going toward prize money by 2030. Now, the reason this is in the headlines again is because Roland Garros on April 16th announced their prize money increase this year of 9.3%. That's going to bring their prize money to 15% of their projected revenue this year. But that is a smaller share of the total revenue than Roland Garros had back in 2024. And it's not terribly close to the 22% of projected revenue that the players are shooting for. And per The Athletic, the FFT pays the least of the slams in general if you're looking at total prize money. And just to put it in perspective, and obviously France, smaller than the United States, but 20 million less they offer compared to the US Open. So quite a difference. They're at the bottom of all four slams in terms of total prize money. Now, Kim, as you might imagine, the FFT had a multi-point response to this, saying that their prize money has gone up by 45% since 2019. Among other things, they're a nonprofit organization. Much of that money is going back into grassroots tennis efforts in France and beyond. But as one astute observer on X, Oleg, who is a wealth of information, pointed out, that 45% did not take into account inflation, which actually puts that number at closer to 14%. So giving you guys all the facts, just to put that in an even greater perspective, the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, they have their players receiving close to 50% of the league's overall revenues. So players have, of course, been asked about this in press in Rome. Only a few players have been through press at this point, and we're already getting the headlines. Aryna Sabalenka was asked if they would consider boycotting, if the top players would consider boycotting. And she said, yes, that would be something she would consider. Iga Swiatek said, I feel like boycotting is a little bit extreme. Elena Rybakina was asked, she said, if that's what everybody's doing, we'll go with the boycott. So she's going to sort of follow the majority, or that's how she sees it. So I think every player will have a perspective on this. I know Andy talked about this at length on Served, and this is something obviously that the top players are spearheading. Are they concerned that they are not getting enough money to live? No, they want this as growth for all players, and certainly players ranked below them. It's not like Jannik Sinner is hurting and wants to add a few extra million to his bank account. But those top players, Coco Gauff on the women's side, of course, has been involved in this, Aryna Sabalenka. They feel like this is something that the players deserve, that will help a wide swath of players in years to come. So that was a lot of words from my end of the microphone, Kim. And this is, again, not a new topic, but I'm really curious to hear your thoughts.
Right. It is not a new topic. I feel like years ago when I, was younger and growing up with Venus and Serena as, a role model when it comes to equal pay, right? For women, equality. Like, I know Venus was in the meeting rooms at Grand Slams, talking to tournament directors, trying to, proving a point of why do we deserve to be paid equally. And she succeeded. Well, the word boycott was being thrown out at times as well. But I think, where Iga stands in her comment was like, okay, maybe boycotting right now seems a little extreme, but let's keep negotiating. And if then nothing happens, who knows, right? Like, I think that's I think the approach that I would take is let's have these top players sit in the meeting rooms and go for it, right? And see, what the challenges are and why is the French Open approaching it this way? Now this year, like, what are the reasons, right? The real reasons, without maybe not the ones that we get on a quote in a whatever in a post. It's tough. It's tough. I don't think, although it's the same sport, I don't think we can compare all the 4 Grand Slams, because there is different incomes. Mm-hmm. There's different quantities and of everything and of how they budget their prize money, the taxes, all that stuff. Like, I don't know enough about all those differences, but I do think players deserve to be treated, and it's like you said, it's not the Sinners and the Sabalenkas, and it's not for them, it's the general, like, it's the overall kind of pool of players that deserves to be treated in a different way, that deserve to make more money, so that they can actually play tennis the right way and get to travel with a coach and not worry about making decisions on, do I have to share my hotel with a player, or can I afford to travel on my own, like, in my own hotel room? So all those things, I think tennis has long ways to go. And it has to start at the top. Like, it has to it has to come, the support has to come from the Novak Djokovic's and the Sabalenkas. And those are the players that can make a difference and that can have an impact and can maybe get the ball rolling. So it's an ongoing, I feel like, kind of story that we've talked about for a very long time. And it's nice to see that there's, certain players who are now saying, like, okay, we have to kind of now push through with this and not give up.
And it's a standard when you look outside of the little bubble of tennis and you see what just happened with the WNBA and they held out and they got a higher percentage for their players. And when you look at the revenue numbers, if Roland Garros's revenue has gone up, I think by 14% total, but the players are only getting 9 point whatever it was % more in terms of prize money. Yeah, that does make you scratch your head. If the prices of everything else are going up and it's the players who are bringing in the fans, then it makes sense in terms of the economics of it as an economics major. This is, look, Mom, I'm using my college degree that absolutely made me want to throw my computer at the wall. No, in the most basic way, but it's just economics when you look at the big picture. So I'm very interested. But we also
can't just compare the US Open to the French Open, right? Like
totally.
That's like each slam is different. And I think, for the US Open and the USTA in general, like getting Craig Tiley on board, like I think it's super, super exciting to see some of the changes that, living in New Jersey, like just, I hear a lot of the things too. I'm not involved with the American Tennis Federation, but I hear a lot of the noise, and I hear when, funding gets cut from the player development program, and like those kind of things to me like seem like completely like ridiculous. But again, if funding is just thrown out of the window and it's not being used the right way, then of course, I don't know enough about, how everything is being used. I know the French Open, the Federation, they have a very strong player development program. They do a lot for youth, and which is true. Like they have, some of the best players, in every age category, right? Where there's a lot of support financially when it comes to, academies and everything. So there's a lot of support, and I'm sure that all costs a lot of money. But we don't know the ins and the outs of all the slams and their budgets and everything. But it's something, very interesting, and I'm curious to. Hopefully when I go to Paris, I can pick up on some information here and there from some players and get a feel for, where they're at. And it's just very interesting times. Yep.
Kim's going to be a super sleuth, and she's going to be an investigative reporter and an influencer. So watch out. Watch out, Roland Garros.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up, but I'll try.
Okay, moving on to Kimformation, where we are going to talk a little Madrid. So obviously Marta Kostyuk, with a 26 seed coming in, gets her first WTA 1000 title, undefeated on clay this season. An incredible start. She took out the number 9 seed Mira Andreeva in the final. And also notable in that final, it was an all-female coach final with Sandra Zanevska and Conchita Martinez, which was very cool. And our very own Megan Fernandez, intrepid reporter that she is, went back and looked at other 1000 finals. By her estimation, the last time that happened in a 1000 final was in 1994. Maggie Maliva and Natasha Zvereva, which is pretty wild. So. Wow. A big deal, really cool for both of those coaches, and great runs for both of those players. Andreeva also is in the doubles final as well. And I would love to maybe just get your overall thoughts on Marta Kostyuk and the improvements we've seen from her.
To me, the improvements, I feel like for a little while now, like have been mostly visible when it comes to a physical side as well. Like she's looked super fit, super like on court as well. Like she just is moving so well. Like she's aggressive with her movement, but it's not overly done. Like I think in the past I've expressed a little bit like my opinion about like Iga Swiatek, when she moves very intensely, but at sometimes it looks like almost too tight. And whereas with Marta, I feel like her movement is she just is super fit. And, when we talked to Hailey too, like she mentioned, like knowing that I've put in so much work, I feel like when I get to these matches, I have like one less thing to worry about. It's like, I know that I'm not going to get outplayed when it comes to the physical side. And that's a great kind of added level of confidence to have, is knowing that you can, be 6-all in the third set in the heat of in Australia or wherever you are, and not have to worry about cramping or physically not being capable of kind of hitting a clean ball anymore. So first of all, that's one of the things where I feel like she's been able to improve herself in general, so that her movement is such a big part of her game. And she has the aggressive ground strokes, and she's an incredible returner. But I think you can only be so good at that if your physical strength and your like your interval levels and all those kind of things, like they have to be high enough to be able to consistently do that over time. And I do think she's reached a level where she is, she's just there, and she can just make players break them down physically as well. And then, I've had the chance to hit with her like years ago when she was a young girl. She was playing juniors, and like I have felt the heavy ball that she hits. And I'm sure over time, like she's gotten stronger and everything. So like, I know that impact on the other side of the net is very big. But add that with the movement that she has, especially on clay, she's been so fun to watch. And like she expressed it, right, in her press conference or in the online interview, like she's the on-court interview, that she's been able to really put aside the expectation of, when she was 15 years old and people expecting her to win a slam, and is to push that aside and really say, like, okay, now I'm at a level where, I'm actually capable of doing it. And so it's nice to see the maturity, and we all go through that. Like, no player gets thrown into the professional tour having everything together, knowing what to do. So it's nice to see when players have moments where you see, oh, it's starting to click for them, or they found something that works for them and that has helped them make a difference out there on court.
Her return game win percentage going into the final was 68%, and then she proceeded to break Andreeva 4 more times. I think sometimes, and I found this when I was coaching as well, I think a lot of times the return is neglected in terms of amount of time dedicated to practicing it. And obviously she has found the secret. I think she is incredibly aggressive. She is oftentimes inside the baseline going after some of these second serves, which puts even more pressure on the server, right? And so all of a sudden the serve becomes maybe even a little bit more whiffly than it might otherwise be. Right. What is a secret? If somebody's out there working on their return, what would you say is the thing that is most helpful in making that a weapon?
It's a mindset. It is a mindset. You can say, like, oh, you got to push yourself a little, you have to stand a little closer on top of the baseline. But if you don't have that inside of you, that kind of, that approach where you say, like, okay, I'm going to do my split step. Either I'm staying on top of the baseline or I'm going to jump forward a little bit. You see a lot of players start close to the baseline, but they actually take a step back and do a split step almost chest upwards. To me, that's not an aggressive or a mindset where you want to attack the return. There's players who stay really low and are really looking into, almost hitting a winner off the return. And she has that. I feel like she wants to be the one, like, as soon as she has a chance, or she feels like she's reading the serve well, she wants to go and be the aggressor with the return. And she's reading serves really well. Like, I think she's just overall has found a really good kind of rhythm where she can adjust if a player, because Andreeva is a good server, so it's not easy to break her that often. And but she's able to, position herself where she can hit the backhand down the line. She can run around, hit the forehand inside out. Like, she has all the tools, and that gets in practice, right? You have to practice all those different kind of returns, but you have to be able to read your opponent. But it starts in between the ears. It's with having the mindset of attacking the return, and the impact that has on the other side of the net. Doesn't matter if it's a Sabalenka or if it's, a lower ranked player and everything in between. Like, it has such a big effect on, a server. And it's like you said, like, you automatically know that there's a harder return coming. You don't finish your service motion properly, so you're pushing back into that service motion and just to be ready for the return. And that's when you start kind of playing on your back foot a little bit. So it's it's really good to see the maturity that she's built, I think, over time on the tennis court, and especially in the matches. And so it's exciting to see now, like, when you have a win like that, how much more will that boost her level, right? Like, is this the belief that she needs to maybe do win a Grand Slam? And so it's a lot of exciting kind of results before, a few weeks before the French Open starts.
Mm-hmm. And for those who did not see it, we also got to learn about Marta Kostyuk's 7 years of gymnastics training, because she gave us a little exhibit A in her celebration with the back handspring, which was quickly vaulted to maybe my number 1 win celebration, maybe of all time. I didn't see it coming. Even though this is something she had done in juniors, I was not ready, and consider me wowed.
Yes, I was very, very surprised, and like rewinded it a few times, like wanted to see it over and over again. And impressive, very impressive. And to me, like, that's my favorite, I think, win, like, celebration. And then on the men's side, like Medvedev with like the dead fish, like, it's like not as impressive, but still impressive, like, to be able to do that.
In the category of didn't see it coming, that definitely is near
those
the
two
top.
are my two favorites.
For sure. Okay, last quick thing on the Kostyuk front. A couple of quotes from her. These are from L'Equipe and my friend Quentin Moinet, who did some great reporting there. She said, "I finally feel like the successes achieved at 15 are no longer a weight on my shoulders. For a long time, I lived with everyone's expectations. It's almost as if having won so young had been a curse. I freed myself from it." She also said, "I use tennis as a breath of fresh air to forget the rest. I step onto the court and I feel better because I haven't spent the whole day on my couch. I use tennis as a weapon against my negative thoughts." And she's also talked a lot about the work that she's done in therapy. It was really funny. She did a little social short for Tennis Channel where she was asked, what hill will you die on? And her hill that she would die on is everybody should be in therapy. But I thought these are clearly spoken like someone who's really unpacked these things that have weighed on her for so many years. And it made me think of Madison Keys when she won the Australian Open, talking about her therapy and really sort of the bigger picture things that she got from that time in therapy, which is different than what you might get from a performance psychologist. We hear about players going and seeing a performance psychologist or bringing in a psychologist to work on the performance aspect. This is sort of the everyman's therapy. This is like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Many people take advantage of that in their everyday lives. Is everybody has those things that weigh them down, and figuring out how to free yourself from those can be helpful on the sports front as well. I thought it was just an interesting distinction, is that we think of performance psychology when we think of players talking about seeing someone, but it's not always the case.
No, not at all. And I think, the most important thing is you have to be happy off court. And it is such an intense lifestyle. And when you get thrown into this world like she did, right, where a lot of expectation on her from when she won a slam as a junior, 14 years old, is incredible. And I can just picture the agencies and everybody, the contracts, and expecting to have the big results. And when you don't have the capacity yet to kind of put everything into place and to keep just stay focused on the process, and it's it can be a lot. And it's unfortunate that to me, that's, I think, the biggest downside of our sport, is that on these young great tennis players who literally have not proven anything yet in the women's tour, right? That there's that people and adults put so much pressure on young kids, and especially a lot of the younger girls, and it's unfortunate. And so for her to realize, or to have found a way to go about it, whether it was she got married, we've seen her be so great at fashion when she comes out with, I think she made a dress, was it a Wilson dress that looked like her wedding dress, and just to have that distraction and other things to focus on, being from the Ukraine, that mentally, those kind of things have nothing to do with sports psychology. That's life-changing events that happen, and so a lot of times, I do think in general, a life psychologist or a life mentor at times can be super beneficial, because the more that you develop off court, the better and the more mature you become on court. And I think, it's something that she's figured out. And the unfortunate thing is, in tennis, we have to learn these lessons the hard way when we're doing it in on the big stage, in Grand Slams, in tournaments. A lot of times it's on TV, in the public eye, and it's hard, because that is also another factor that gets thrown on top of it, is that your failures, which end up being your biggest lessons, but your failures are always in the spotlight, and that can sometimes also be hard to handle and hard to take. But she's doing really well, and I think Andreeva too. She's had some incredible results. We saw her. She gets very emotional, but she's I think when you give it a few days, she can realize that she's playing some great tennis, having one in Stuttgart and then having another, playing another final in Madrid, and it's just really good to see that she's playing the tennis that is capable of getting to end of the tournament almost week after week. And so, but but yeah, it's an emotional roller coaster being a tennis player, and it's everybody has to find their way with what works, right? Like what worked for me may not have worked for you, and what, like things like that. Like it just doesn't always work, and you have to find people on tour that you can relate to, and where you can kind of connect with, and that you feel like, oh yeah, like I can actually learn from this player, and I can, because we're very similar, or we have similar backgrounds, or whatever it is. And that's what it all comes down to, is finding those people that are able to share their experience with you, and so that you may have a little bit easier of a time going through it all.
Okay, Kim, should we wrap up the day with a little rec room?
Yes, please.
All right. Do you want to go first?
I haven't been really inspired by anything for this week, so I'm going to start off with you, Blair.
Okay. I brought both my friend and my enemy. It is my weighted jump rope. And if you are listening to this as an audio medium, as podcasts used to be, now we're audio and visual, but it's not weighted as in the handle of the jump rope is weighted, because previously that's what I knew a weighted jump rope to be. This is a rope that is sort of woven. It's nice and pink. It looks really sweet. It's allegedly only 3 pounds. But can I tell you that when I jump with this thing, it might as well be 50. I don't understand the physics of it, and how, again, it's telling me that altogether this only weighs 3 pounds, but how it feels so heavy. But I do once a week, I do 1 minute on, 1 minute off for an hour. So it's 30 minutes of total jumping. But the reason why I am recommending it is because I assume we have a lot of either tennis players or tennis fans here. And there is no other exercise that I do that makes me feel better on a tennis court than this. When I don't do this for several weeks, I can tell. For whatever reason, I think probably because it just engages so many different muscle groups, because it really is sort of a back and arm workout as well, because you're really having to like get some momentum to swing it all the way around as fast as you need to. But I feel like when I do this regularly, I don't get to play tennis as much as I would like to, but it makes me feel as good as I can feel when I only play tennis once or maybe twice a week. So I highly recommend weighted jump rope.
What a great, I thought you were going to pull your yacht into the screen for a second.
My yacht?
Your yacht, your boat. It looked like one of those ropes that you hook onto
That's a tug. Mine would be a tugboat, Kim. Mine would not be a yacht. I would be, throwing it over my shoulder. Like, let's bring Blair's tugboat.
But that's a great idea, because skipping rope has always been one of my favorite kind of warm-ups and workouts, and I've missed it. So my goal now is obviously to play tennis again after my Achilles tendon rupture, but if I can start skipping rope again, like I would be like happy to get excited for that. So I'm definitely going to order that. That's a really good one. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
So 1 minute on, 1 minute off for 30 minutes.
Yes, but you don't have, you could do, I did not start off doing that. I started off doing a much shorter period of time.
Right.
But I think that's one of the cool things about this particular rope, is that it really gets you bang for your buck in terms of time. So as those of us who don't have that much,
2 feet? Like you don't do tricks,
I do 2 feet.
Just 2 feet.
I probably am getting to the point where I could sort of do like a running jump, but I have not been that adventurous yet. So no, we're doing 2 feet.
Give me a little visual. Where do you do this? Like outside, inside? Like
I usually do it inside because I need a distraction. So
music?
I usually watch TV. It's my TV time. While the kids are at school, I have a spot in my living room.
Like when you guys are all watching a movie together. No. Like mom is.
No, they would hate me. No, I do not. But yeah, there you go.
All right, great. Thank you. I'm gonna bring something next week. I just haven't been been inspired by anything.
Wait until the mood strikes you, Kim, because we know when it does. It's an excellent recommendation from you. But this has been so much fun today. Hailey was great. I loved hearing your thoughts on Marta. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you all for listening. As you know, we've got new episodes for you every Wednesday. You have to make sure you're following us on all of our social channels at Love All Podcast, because Influencer Kim is coming for you at Roland Garros. Kim just snorted at Roland Garros 2026. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. We would appreciate it so much. There's, of course, the Served YouTube, but there's also Love All YouTube. So we'd love for you to go there, like and subscribe to us so you can get us new every Wednesday. So we'll see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.